I was a high school senior on 9/11, and I can remember for years afterwards people talking about how Al Qaeda really took advantage of how open and trusting American society had become around physical security in order to pull that attack off. You could carry pretty much anything onto a plane. There was barely any security in the airport. Unticketed passengers were wandering all over the place. Because before 9/11, we were living in a universe where nobody hijacked big airplanes and crashed them into buildings. And after 9/11, we were. The Trump presidency and January 6th and QAnon and Pizzagate and Fox News, these are all kind of like, for me, they feel like the 9/11 of information. As in, they exploited how open our society is around things like free speech and the spread of information. So much so to the point that it's forcing us to ask ourselves, can we afford to stay that open? Like, I just grew up in a world where, like, it was unthinkable that a major news network would just run a story they know is made up and never catch any consequences for it. I grew up in a world where if a politician fell for a conspiracy theory, it would hurt their career, not help it. Before COVID, I just did not live in a world where people would let themselves be infected with a dangerous disease just for social media likes. We never wanted to be the type of society that needs to moderate every little piece of content that grown-ups are posting online, but we also used to be a society where grown-ups caught grown-up consequences for saying and doing crazy shit. We used to be a society that thought it was cool if you could differentiate between fact and fiction. We used to be a society that thought it was important to understand the difference between objective fact and subjective opinion. And we were not always good at holding up to those ideals. Bill O'Reilly and Newt Gingrich existed when I was a kid too. But at the very least, leaders and thought leaders and kind of hegemons, like public intellectuals, at least they understood that reality matters. I would like to go back to a world where being wrong about everything made you uncool, and I just don't know how to get there.